Rick, past, I guess, about a month, been going through this three goalie rotation system. The record, it's proven to be working for the team.
Yeah, they've all done a good job. Really, it's the credit. I don't want to say the credit, but it's the way Max has played. We I don't think that we can continue with three guys. It gets a little tough in practice. Some of the longer weeks, it's easier when we have more time to work with them. But because of our travel schedule as well, we've been able to leave the goaltender starting the next game at home and be a little smarter. So far the schedule's permitted it, but Max has played great, and he's given himself an opportunity to get another start based on what he's done, and you know. Both Scotts, Clemenson, and Wedgwood have continued to do a good job for us. So far it's working. I think at some point we're going to have to do something here, but we'll continue to utilize them, and it's good for the organization to see um, these goalies play.
Talking about the schedule, you run into that issue this week. You only have two games. It means one of those goalies likely will go 2 weeks without seeing game action. What's the approach there?
Well, that's exactly the point. So we'll leave one home that'll get the start on Friday, or rest one, and then we, because of the amount of injuries we have, it's actually good to have an extra goaltender, because we can leave guys home and get a good skate in with some of the injured guys, and have a goalie for that purpose as well. But like I said, at some point, these guys are going to have to play, and we've been lucky enough and been able to utilize it so far. But at some point, we'll have to get back down to two.
Teams, the last four road games, picked up points in all four of them. Not early on, the road was a little tough for the team. What's been the switch?
I don't really think it's the road. I think it's just the way we played overall, and I think the guys have done a pretty good job of moving on to the next game. We even the games we've lost, we haven't really been out of. We've had maybe some games where we haven't played as well, but this team's really starting to kind of come together, and we've done it with, like you said, three goalies. We've guys in, guys out. It's constantly lineup changing, so guys have really bought in. It's been a good team effort. I think defensively we've tightened things up, and so I don't really think it's necessarily the road as much as our overall play and how it's improved.
Brendan Berlon's had a good few weeks here. He's had a good season for you so far. What's how have you seen him improve from year to year since he's been here?
Well, I think he's more confident with the puck, and I think he's always been confident with the puck, but just some of his decision making, I think it's something he's still going to have to work on. Has a tendency to sometimes make the high risk play, or the long pass, which the one worked out on the power play. But there's situational times when those decisions can be made and can't be made, and I think with Burley, it's realizing what those times is. We'd say time and score, or late in the period in a 1-goal game, and I think he's getting better at that. I think he certainly wants to learn and willing to learn, but I think sometimes some of those habits are tough to break, and it's been a process with him. Overall, I think defensively he's engaged a little more physically. He has gotten trouble with overplaying the puck and losing body position. I think he's gotten much better at that over the years. And then I've had conversations with him every year, and we talked about at the beginning of the year that a game where we don't notice him doing something great or something a big mistake is a good game. And he has to be content and happy, and realize that that's all we need. And if he can limit his mistakes and make a big play or two, or just be a steady puck moving defenseman, we're fine with that. I think he has to be fine with that, and that's the internal struggle of Brandon.
Is it tougher to convince an offensive minded defenseman to be content with that?
Well, the thing is he's been put in offensive situations. I don't know that he's naturally an offensive defenseman. He sees some things, he can make some plays, there's no question. But, just a result of some of the personnel we've had here, you look at last year, he was kind of used on the second unit off and on. Now this year, losing Merrill, Jelena, Larson, some of the guys we've had here, he's, been in almost an unfair way, we've kind of forced him into that situation. And I think when you're put into that situation and maybe not necessarily I don't know that he was an offensive guy in college, then you want to maybe think a little more offensively. And that's been the struggle that we've had with him, is trying to, like I said, you can still play on the power play, but keep it simple. But he has the ability. One thing I've always liked about him is his ability to jump in the rush, and we see him 4-on-4 on 3-on-3. Certainly, when there's open ice, he can certainly make things happen.
He doesn't seem very shy about when it's there, and when it even just not during the rush. Sometimes just in zone play to move up around the net area. He doesn't seem too shy about that.
Yeah, no, and we encourage that. Do we want him, leading the rush or being first on the forechecker, which he has been before? No, and he's gotten better at that. And again, it's identifying the situation, and sometimes some guys take a little longer to figure that out. It's identifying when to go, or hey, maybe I think I can go here, but it's a better decision not to go, or when to pinch, when not to pinch, when to jump on the rush, when not to jump on the rush. So I think just that decision making he's gotten better at, and needs to continue to learn and understand the risk and reward of those situations.